it's hard to return to. It's easier to return to Brilliant Diamond and Lustrous Pearl.
Lusty Pearl, yeah. Lusty
Yeah,
Pearl.
Lusty Pearl.
Hello and welcome. My name's Jay, and with me today is my good old friend, Alexander Gonzalez.
What up?
And please remember that we are not game devs. How are you doing today, Alex?
Good. I just had myself a giggle because it's just, I almost want to do like a post-mortem of Legends Arceus, like coming back to it later, because as much as I enjoyed it, it gives me a giggle now going back to it.
It makes me sad because I do want to get to the end at least. I just don't know when that's going to happen now.
And I want to catch Arceus.
Yeah.
I want to beat like the main game because I always beat the whole story.
Right. And you need to fill up that Pokemon home.
Yeah, that too.
To get ready for Pokemon Sleep.
Now you're getting real deep. If there's Pokemon fans in the audience, you really gave them a tickle. They're going to enjoy that.
And please, oh wait, no, we did that. But those are not the Pokemons that we are talking about today. Today, we are creating something new every week on We Are Not Game Devs. We imagine a brand new video game idea from our minds. Join in on the fun, be creative, and if you have your own unique video game idea or want to patch into ours, write in to @poundgames@gmail.com. Today is my turn to present We Are Not Game Devs' 213th IP. Now, you haven't mentioned this game in a while, but you played it, so I think you're going to get the idea of it. But essentially, I want to make Sayonara Wild Hearts, but as a mech fighting anime that's happening in the background. And instead of when you mess up, it just fails the stage. When you mess up at key moments in the fight, it'll turn the tide and you have to keep the rhythm game going. And obviously...
Almost like Nidhogg kind of thing where
there's like I think
stages.
When the song ends, there's going to be a definite ending. And maybe what we'll do is, depending on how well you do in each fight, it'll all climb up to a certain ending in the game on who wins in the story that we're creating here. And I don't want it just be one whole fight and it be like 6 songs all for one fight. I want like time to progress. So each song is going to be like a different battle in these in the story mode. And then in between there could be like a little cutscene that's kind of explaining the story that's happening between. And then maybe there could be even like some kind of like light Danganronpa between chapters, talking to the people in the story and going around and just kind of getting some lore if you want, or you just press next song to get to the next song. Like you'll be like, okay, let's gear up for the next battle, or you could explore the campus and talk to the other kids and stuff like that.
All right. I think because it's like a game that's going to be kind of on rails and you're going to be doing like rhythm and bouncing and like riding on rails and stuff, we can make this game look really cool. Like really stylized, where there could be boosters, the mechs can look awesome, they can be doing awesome things. Because in mech games, you're limited by the button inputs, right? So you can only do so much. That doesn't work. We're almost like the next, like one of the best mech games was that Gundam Musou, right? Where you, that's how you want to feel. I think we can make this work where we can make it really anime, where if you do like a 10-hit combo, like you'll take out like your back buster and like fire a beam across like the horizon, and you just see, those little explosions that happen. Like it's like a delay where it's like shring and then poof, 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 across the whole screen. I think this could be really cool. Do you want there just to be one mech, or do you want it to be like a team? Because it would be cool if there was different mechs that did different things as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be kind of like a squad of kids. And we could even make it so it's like a Power Ranger situation where they all have their own mechs. But during the final fight, they'll all come together, but you don't know that they're going to do that till the very end. Last song finale, they all come together and they become the Megazord, and then they fight off the kaiju or whatever.
And that's when the intro music starts playing. And then all of a sudden you start to feel things as you play this game.
And then like throughout the game they'll like be conversations right before a song you'll get like a in-game cutscene where it's like just the in-game models that you watch while you're playing the rhythm game, but it's like in the mech. Rex, you got to be careful on this next one, okay? Don't worry about me, Maria. I got this. Are you sure? I don't know if you got it this time. You remember your mom? Nah, I've way passed over that. Don't worry about it. And then it goes into the song, and then you start playing the rhythm game or whatever. But then there'll be like short cutscenes in between. There'll be full animated like anime style cutscenes also in between or at the end that you're rewarded with at the end of the song.
I like this because you can build up to other stuff where like if there's a boss battle, you get to a certain hard part and you're like, then Maria's like, Joseph, and he's like, I'm ready. And then they go and then they combine, do some kind of twirl, and then go through the boss as you're doing different rhythms to make it all work.
Yeah.
We can make it really dramatic. So we can condense action pieces into this game and then go that route where it'll be just as entertaining to watch. Where you're like, what's going to happen next? What are these mech kids doing? I got to this 4th episode and one of them just died, and that was crazy. Then there was another episode where the other kid was wilding. He was really aggressive, so I had to go save him because he wanted to get revenge.
But I do want there to be like kind of like a weird multiple ending kind of situation. So you can get your kids killed, but then you have to do terrible on the rhythm game. You know what I mean?
No, I just want one kid to be killed at a pivotal point in the game, and then maybe depending on the
battles would just not go in their favor, and so we'll have endings where it's like the battle goes well,
like Star Fox and Slippy, where they're like, I need your help. Come on, Jake. And then you just see, whoosh, and then dun 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 dun, everyone gasping, and then they'll go check. If you want to do different endings, we could have each of these kids die, where there's a universe where you live on without Maria or without Jake or without Joe, without Paul.
How about so maybe what it'll be is in the game, in terms of deaths, there will be just one death that's scripted, and then they get replaced by the new blood kid who's like kind of the hot shot, but everyone's friends with
We're going to say it's going to be Paul who's going to die. And he was actually the calm team leader type that didn't have a personality, but everyone relied on him because he was the Rock.
That's funny. In my head, I was going off the first Power Rangers movie where Billy dies or gets injured. He doesn't die. He gets injured. And the kid takes his place and is like, I've always wanted to be here type of thing.
And then he was in the second movie and drove like the minivan.
I don't remember.
Okay, so that's too deep. But I was thinking instead, you're gonna get a replacement. It's gonna be a hotshot shooter, who's like really good, but like the team dynamic's gonna be off.
Yeah, and then you have to accept him in.
Yeah, and he's gonna be like a burning Gundam type of like mech, where he's gonna have like 2 big fists, and then he's gonna be and then just like rockets on his back.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna be like going in, and people are gonna be like, "What the hell?"
And then each battle, I guess it'll go in like a grand, overarching battle thing where the song will follow what's happening with every fight that's happening on the battlefield, type of thing.
I think what's gonna happen is this: on the 4th episode, when you're playing the 4th battle, that's when we're going to introduce, instead of it just being normal characters, like you're basically beating up Zaku's and bigger bases, right? On the 4th level, there's going to be the introduction of the other side's mechs, and that's where one's just going to die. I could see something happening where a scythe just comes out of nowhere and slices it in half, and then you just see it land in the soil, and you see like a mech pick it up, and then you
Yeah.
go from there.
That would be like the halfway point, or like a little bit before. Let's say there's like what, 13 songs, 13 levels.
So we're releasing a whole album.
Yeah. And some of the songs are longer than others, and then we'll even have like a reprised like overture of like everything, and all mashed together at the very end, where it's like a bunch of like songs all together. And like, yeah, some of them will be a little bit longer. Like I'm talking like 5-minute songs, 6-minute songs, and then some of them will, most of them are going to be the regular like 3-minute song length. And then maybe we'll have like remixes, and then those will be like the secret fights or whatever that are like hidden around. You have to max out your friendship with all your classmates, and then you unlock secret fights, and it unlocks a new mech for each one.
Oh, like an upgraded mech.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what gets people like me into it.
So like,
is knowing that there's an upgraded mech where then everything's gonna look cooler. Because then there's new cutscenes.
If you max out all the friendship levels for each classmate, at the end
you get a new mech, and then end is a final holy shit built mech that looks completely different but also really cool.
Yeah, where like you go like, hey man, Jackson, I need your help. All right, Rex, I got you, man. What do you need? There's this facility. It's like some high-tech research, but like it's really going to help me out. And there's some bad dudes, and we can't let them have it. All right, Rex, that sounds like a solid plan. I'll go help you. And you guys go blast off. And then it gives him like a power-up to Rex's mech.
See, I thought it would be something like, Logan. We're in the same territory that the band of raiders that killed my family and made me a war orphan. You can't stop me, but are you coming with me to go kill him? And then it's like some kind of, I think I'm playing too much Fire Emblem. I'm thinking of like dark shit
super
like that.
Super dark backstories to all these kids. This is only going to be like a fucking 10-hour game, Alex. We can't add all this backstory.
The reason I go to dialysis 2 times a week is because they stole my kidneys.
We can get them back for me and my mech.
I don't even know how you're gonna play a game where you're taking people's kidneys.
Yeah.
All sent. So yeah, we can do upgrade stuff like that where you do like extra support missions to get not only unlock new combos with those characters, but also you can get new mechs. How hard is this game going to be? Not too hard, I don't think.
Well,
right?
I mean, there's going to, of course, be like those difficulty things where it's like easy, medium, hard, extreme, and stuff like that. In terms of gameplay, I see it as like kind of how like the Persona rhythm games worked, where it's like DDR, but there's more that you're doing than just pressing buttons. You're also like, you're pressing buttons, and then you're touching the touchpad, and then you're like doing like shoulder bumpers and stuff like that. It's not just face buttons, you know what I mean? Or like instead of doing the touchpad, you can move your joystick and stuff like that. Maybe we could even include weird shit like gyro stuff. So like you swing your controller left, right, and stuff like that. Like just
no gyro. Gyros like don't work. No, it's never as fun as you want it to be. Because even if you're really into it, think about it, you're like X, square, triangle, O, down, fling, and then you have to sit there and put your hands back on the buttons.
With the fling is you're dodging a rocket coming towards you, and you fling, and then the mech goes in first person. It's like, and then it's like tap X, and you go and then you shoot a rocket back, and then you like, I don't know, fling downwards.
Maybe if it's always going to be in that sequence where whenever you start flinging, that's when you go in first person mode, and then it's a different kind. It's a little bit easier difficulty.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you ever played a rhythm game with shit going on the screen. The first time you play it, you're not watching what's happening. You're paying attention to all the fucking arrows and shit. It's not until you get really good where you could stop paying attention and kind of see it in your periphery. Um, and so I think what will, of course, we need a theater mode where you could just rewatch what you just did. So then you could just watch the
Mhm.
gameplay and not really pay attention to how to play. But I was just trying to think of different ways to engage with this rhythm game that's not your typical. Because Sayonara Wild Hearts did it in a cool way where they kind of did it how Final Fantasy VII Remake did it, where the button prompts are all around. They're just everywhere. You know what I mean? So you don't know where
Yeah.
the next button prompt is going to come from. But it kind of gives you an idea, and you kind of learn how Sayonara Wild Hearts works in terms of where the line is.
Hmm.
But I think that gets confusing and gets kind of hard to read, and you do lose it, and so you get frustrated if you miss one combo because you're like, I didn't see that X there. That's a bullshit or whatever. How was I supposed to know that it's just going to come up over there? And so I was just thinking of like different ways to make the rhythm game more fun.
I was thinking you can make it more fun where you can make the button prompt sometimes part of like the world as it goes. Like maybe like as you press a button prompt that you see on screen, like they slash through um like let's say there's like a space base and then there's like a hatch that's in the shape of an O. Like it'll put the button over there and then you'll slash through that and then go through it. Maybe
What
make it
if
more
that
visceral.
is more just how it is? Maybe it's not a traditional rhythm game at all. What if you're watching the game happen and it's your mech flying through and it's kind of like, it kind of looks like Star Fox where it's like your mech is flying through this thing and then yeah, things start coming at you, and then maybe what we could do is make specific enemies buttons.
Yeah.
So like if you
Like
see
there's
the red
X's on
robot
them
come
and
towards
O's on
you,
them and triangles on them. We can actually honestly just take it from Squid Games and make the symbols on their faces.
no, I was just
And
gonna make
still,
it so they kind of look a little bit like that
oh, like
shape,
X's and O's. We can make mech shapes like
but like
that. Yeah.
we can't do exactly like that. So I was just thinking maybe colors. So
Like
like
round. Oh, or that works
colors
too.
and
Yeah. The
shapes. And so
blue
like
for
on
X,
Xbox, you'll know,
triangle
you know what I
for
mean? Like so
green.
it's for every
Yeah.
console. And so then like
That's going to be confusing as shit because you're going to play on Sony and you're going to press X for blue. And then you're going to go on Xbox and you're going to be like, that's O. You're pressing B, you're pressing X now, which is no, I haven't played in a while. Hold on. A is green, B is red, Y is yellow. Yeah, X is blue.
but I mean they don't necessarily need to be the button face colors. They could be like yellow, blue, red, and fucking brown or something. You know what I mean? And then we'll like introduce new
Uh-huh.
colors, and then there'll be like different buttons. And then like on the thing, they'll also like if a bunch of X's come out, and those are the basic ass fucking things, it's just a machine gun, right? And then we introduce the red ones, and the red guys, you shoot like rockets at them, and then eventually you use your sword and stuff.
And
And
then yeah, when you do different combos, that's when you'll start doing different moves where it'll be like X square square triangle triangle oh, and then you're going to do like a different kind of move off of that.
exactly, yeah. And then like the way that we could give that information for like combos and stuff can be different each time, or maybe it could be like Patapon where it's a symbol like you need to do this combo here, and then that symbol you already know as a player. That symbol is XXOO triangle triangle square square. So you just do it when it comes up, and you just kind of know that is the combo you do because you've done it so many times over and over again. And it'll just work. You know what I mean? Cool. I like how that will look better. And then yeah, the camera will move around dynamically and cut in appropriate times and breaks in the song, like when there's all of a sudden more like a dung
Yeah.
dung dung, like a bass
And
line with drums. It just kind of is like a weird story beat for a second.
and what I love about this is we can do different levels, and with the rhythm game, you can make different rhythm songs based off where you're playing. So now you can do space effectively, you can do land effectively on planet side, and you can do underwater without it being not fun to navigate.
Yeah, because
And it
like
was
you're not controlling the character; it's on rails. It's moving on
yeah,
its
and
own.
with that you have different stuff like where in space you can use a grappling hook to then like kind of whip around objects because there's no gravity. In the water it'll feel just different and it'll have cool. What's always cool about the water is that mechs have lights on them and that it just looks different, like when you engage a beam sword and stuff like that you turn it
Speaking
on.
of how it looks, at first I wanted it to look very anime, but now if we're gonna get into this like flying through space and underwater, I kind of want it to look hyper realistic with like neon, kind of like cyberpunk ish, where it's like hyper realistic, but neon colors everywhere. The when you're out in the forest, it's super green, like green to the point where it's like there's no way it's that green. You know what I
I was
mean?
thinking about going the other way. There's so much lush games out right now that I think if we were to do like an anime styled game, but it's like realistic military, like the mechs will still look anime. Don't get me wrong. Like they'll have that kind of Japanese look to them. They won't be all boxy and weird. But I was thinking about making like a military like game or at least like war. Like the kids don't have to be military, but I was thinking that they would all be part of like a military school that recruited them. And then
Yeah.
they're like going through that and then that way because so many games are like Fortnite or they're very colorful. This game could just have that kind of art style to it. Where I still think we can do the neon. Like I still think that when you cut the mechs and stuff, there's like blue neon space fluid.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Almost similar to Danganronpa and that purple blood.
Yeah. Well, I was also thinking like the lights on the mech and stuff, like the just
Yeah.
random lights all over them and things like that. Maybe they'll have this cool look to them where there's just think Kingdom Hearts zippers, but as like bright LED lights all over these mechs. You know what I mean? Like random light accents everywhere. I think that could look kind of cool in terms of visuals.
Yeah.
I guess okay. And
We'll,
art
we'll
style.
just say,
Then,
and you know what?
if, okay, what if for the art style, if you want to go more in the weird anime look, maybe it could look kind of like the art style that what's that? All you need no. What's that really weird horny one like Kill a Kill? Is that what it's called? Is that an anime?
Kill la Kill's the one where like their dress would get
Yeah,
sluttier
they're
and
like
sluttier and more
clothes like our
revealing.
powers, right?
Yeah.
And they'll
Yeah, yeah,
essentially
yeah.
become armor. But like that kind
Mhm.
of art style, or like how kind of like Fooly Cooly looks, where it's like um I don't know, more like scratchy looking.
Um, yeah, no, I see what you're talking about. I think we can make the neon colors work because we can say that these like these mechs are powered also by nanomachines. That's how they get modded up. So that way, like if you're charging up, you can have a bunch of nanobots kind of going over to that area and then pulsing different colors.
Yeah.
This could be it could basically be like where people are gonna rip the cutscenes from this game and then put it to like hardcore dubstep and stuff for like rave kind of like scenes and cuts. Rather
Speaking
than thinking
of,
about the way the colors are gonna look.
what is the genre? What music is playing? Is it gonna be like more dubstep? Is it gonna be anime as fuck epic? Is it gonna
We could do anime music where there's like some dubstep undercurrents to it. So like maybe the first time the dubstep track drops is when one of the kids gets taken out and dies, gets cut in half by the scythe, and then the scythe falls, and then you see the mechanized hand grab it. Then all of a sudden there's a dubstep track.
all right, this is a random uh mixture, but I kind of hear like super epic anime kind music. Like I'm thinking like what you would hear when you're watching a trailer for the new Final Fantasy, where it's a female vocalist and it's like going crazy with like electric guitar and she's like doing her power vocal singing in Japanese and stuff, or maybe just a made up language, and then mix that with a little bit of Lindsay Sterling, where it's like
Who's
this.
Lindsay Sterling?
You don't know Lindsay Sterling? She does the violin like dubstep electronic music where she plays violin and then turns it into like electronic music. And she got
Oh,
famous
yeah, I
for
know her.
doing the Legend of Zelda
Yeah, I know
violin
her then,
cover.
yes.
But
Yes.
she's known for some of her more like modern, like electronic violin music, which is pretty cool stuff. But that's kind of what I hear.
I like it. Let's move forward with that.
Pricing.
I think this could be a $40 game, but I also think that you can make the argument for 70.
Let's say it's a
So,
$50 game and leave it at that and just be like, look, it's not a full-fledged top tier
but I want it to be
JRPG.
next gen.
Yeah, no,
The
it's
only
gonna.
thing, because the reason I want it to be next gen is I don't want it to stop. You know, I want it to be where it loads fast. You get in every single menu you pick, like you press X, you choose the mech you want to play as, you do everything, and it never like stops. Where there's never a loading screen; it just goes right in.
I want it to be like that. I also want it to look really cool. It's going to be
60
stylistic
frames.
and look super great.
Yep, 60 frames locked. It has to be smooth.
Because you're essentially just watching it happen and you're just doing button prompts. So I want it to be super smooth and quick and look fluid. But it's also super short.
13 songs, so it's about an hour. It's about an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, some songs are longer,
and there's remixes and stuff too. So,
and yeah, remixes, and then there's going to be like you can play as different mechs on different songs if you want.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Well, there's like the free play mode where you could just replay a song or an episode over and over again just to get the high score and replay as different mechs and different costumes and switch things out and all that stuff. So yeah, I think 50 because it's not quite a $60 or $70 game, but it's also not quite a budget game either. Because first we have to make the whole soundtrack, and then we gotta like make all the animation and all that. Like it's gonna put a lot into it, you know?
Yeah.
And then eventually we'll add DLC and just add more songs, and it'll just be like. That's when we'll add like stupid shit, like when we start doing like romance ballads, and it's just like the episode is just two of the characters that get close go on like a date, and we just do like one of those type of music videos. And then we'll also have one that's like just a music video where it's like random shit, like them just like at the beach playing, and they're at a cafe and they're just eating and laughing, you know?
You mean it's one of those days, it's like one of those things where it's like there's
it's
like
the beach day filler.
Yeah, the beach day where they have a picnic, start splashing with each other.
Yeah. It'll be just like that'll be like just a J-pop song. It's just like the most J-pop of poppy songs, and maybe it's like a J-pop cover of the theme song or something.
Oh man.
All right, Alex. It's time to start your timer because it's time to name this game.
All right. 1 second. We're going to name this game. Let's go.
Rhythm Robot.
What'd you call it?
Rhythm Robot.
And I was thinking like Mechanical Sonata.
Music Mecha.
Mechanata. Mecha Symphony.
Sentinel
Rhythm
Symphony.
Robot.
I'm trying to put like alliteration on it.
Rhythm Robot.
Rhythm
Robo. And then it's like this serious anime dubstep, and you're like, I bought Rhythm Robo.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I thought it was gonna be like Parappa the Rappa.
When I think Robot and Robo, I think of like that square type of robot with colored teeth.
Yeah, it's not serious.
Yeah.
But when you're dealing with a robot, it's not serious. When you're dealing with a mecha, mechs is what we're dealing with. Musical mechs. Mechusical. Mechusical. Oh, that's good. Not good for the game, just good for the heart. Let's see. McKimphany. Hmm. Oh my god, I got it. Rhythmech.
Sure. Rhythmech.
Rhythmic. Yeah, Rhythmic.
Rhythmech. Rhythmech. Rhythmech.
Yeah. Rhythmic in 1 minute 41 seconds. I'm proud of that.
That's good.
After what was the one that I did? Mekusical? Mekusical had to be done for me to get to Rhythmic.
Rhythmech
So
is cool.
Rhythmic is a game where you play as one of 5 children who were recruited for the military prowess to be paired with a mech in a war that's been going on for generations. But it's also a musical. So you're going to be playing in a rhythm game where you're moving around, bouncing around, hitting these buttons that are actually robots, and listening to songs that are. What is the music genre again? It's like
just
dub classical dub,
like,
but it's not like classic dub.
It's just epic dub music.
Epic dub music, but it's also like violin. So a unique take on dubstep is what we'll say. And then Rhythmech.
All right. So I think we have a game here, Alex. What do you think? Would this be a game you would want to play, and is it fun?
Absolutely, this would be a game I'd want to play. This would be the type of game that I'd want, like, that I wish 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim was just a little bit. Like, I don't need all of it to be that way. I love that game, but if there was a chapter that was like that, where there was a random rhythm game, I would have died.
But the battle system in 13 Sentinels is pretty cool. I liked it.
And no, all of the game is fun. Yeah. All of that game is fun. But I'm just saying, I was hoping, because of my leanings, that I would have wanted something like that.
I mean,
I would want something like this to exist.
What if this is the sequel to 13 Cent? You know how all these like Japanese games that has like a random rhythm spin-off that's like the spiritual sequel to the game, like all the Persona rhythm games, it's like direct sequel of what happens after Persona. Like, this is a year after P4G. They get sucked into a dance competition in the metaverse type of shit.
And Atlas's music is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this will be the sequel to 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. But no, dude, I would definitely want to play this game. It's like an anime music video meets, I don't know, dating sim, but it's not really dating sim because all the stuff is pre-casted. But now that we have a complete game, what game studio would you assign to be able to make Rhythmech the best?
I think Guerrilla Games would make some really cool mechs. I don't know. I don't want them doing 3D faces, and I almost want it to be, for the first time ever, I'd want to have them only do the gameplay, like I guess the mech design and the mech world, and kind of how it plays, how it moves, right? But not the art design. And then the art design, I would want. You know what? I take it from Guerrilla Games. Guerrilla Games is good. I think they do a good job, but I'm also going to say, I'm just going to rapid fire mine off. Guerrilla Games, Kojima, and Atlas.
Right. Atlas for sure. Simogo, the people behind Serenara Wild Hearts, because I mean, it's just direct next
That's
step,
right. That's true.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
We'll also give it to... Let me see here. Vanillaware, the people behind 13 Sentinels, I think they could do something cool with this. Just a random side project they did. They already have mech experience and story experience. They just make a rhythm game instead of an action strategy game. Which I think would be cool. Make it much shorter and less confusing as well. More straightforward, you know. Less time, more focus.
Mm-hmm.
The story would also be pretty good, I feel like, because they could tell a cool mech story.
Yeah, that's what's hard is you want a good story, you want excellent gameplay, and you want these mechs to move good.
Right.
You want it to be believable.
We'll also give it to I have to look this up because I don't really know their new studio name. Izanagi Games. They're a collab new studio from people from both Spike Chunsoft, and I think they're all under Spike Chunsoft, but they're like the AI game creator and the Danganronpa creator came together to make a new studio called Izanagi Games. And so far, they've only made a game called World's End Club, which was not super great.
That's on the arcade.
Yeah, it is on Apple Arcade. And then there was also like another side project game that they made, I think. But they need a hit, and I think this is a hit. And they'll make it dark as fuck, just like how you want it.
Yeah.
They like making kids kill each other.
Let's have just terrible things happen to these children.
And with that, our 213th IP has gone gold. We hope you look forward to this experience that will probably never release. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to give us extra support, please head over to patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. For just $1, patrons receive episodes early and an extra podcast at the beginning, which you caught the tail end of our conversation at the beginning of this episode. That's patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. Like, rate, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And if they ask for a review instead of reviewing our show, become your inner game critic and review Rhythmech, the video game we just created. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next Friday with another new IP. Again, my name is J.E.
And I'm AG.
Thank you. And please remember that we are not game devs.
You got to play Rhythmech because it's going to be the first entry into the genre of games that we create called Mechusicals.
That being said, Rhythmech is probably one of the top 10, top 5 video game names we have come up with.
It's probably my number one.
Yeah.
My number one, because I don't come up with cool names. So that was like a lightning struck there.
Yeah. We had some good ones. I don't remember any of them right now. We had this random one like Sam and Felix save the universe across all time or some shit like that. I don't remember what that one was called, but we named a game and we're like, we're just going to go for it. Early on, I think it was like episode 14 or something. I remember you're like, this is a game about a germ named Steve. And Steve...
Yeah, I remember this one.
I don't remember what that character was called, but we essentially just named it like Steve's Incredible Journey or some shit like that.
Yeah, we did. That was a good one. And then also the fish that got flushed down the drain and then became tougher and tougher as it went on.
Yeah. There's some good early content there. We made some wild games back then. Now they're all typical. Now they're just run-of-the-mill, sell-out, AAA blockbusters.
You got to give the people what they want, Jay. We got to keep the money in for We Are Not Game Devs. You want to go back to a normal job? You want to go back to a normal job?
Whatever happened to the games where we just talk about fucking greenhouse gases?
Wait. How about your favorite? Drip Drop.
That's what I'm talking about right now. Fucking what's that cycle called? The rain cycle?
The water cycle?
Was it polymorph? I don't remember the word for it now.
Man, I got really granular. Yeah, photosynthesis.